Hello, I'm Tom Neiman. This is Inside the Summit League. All the scores from the week that was, all of the upcoming games for this week, all the current standings down there at the bottom of the screen. Coming up this week on the show, though, very cool story from Denver on a young man fighting cancer who's been taken in as a teammate by the Pioneer men's soccer team. Hoop season is not that far off. The basketball preseason polls are out. We will see who sits at the summit in the minds of the coaches and the media and the sports information directors before we get the season started at least. And we'll hear from one of the new men's coaches in the league, Billy Wright at Western Illinois, as well as Scott Sutton at Oral Roberts as they complete their first day of practice. But we start with a couple of volleyball players who are killing it this season. Got Emily Spencer at Fort Wayne and Kendall Crittenbrink at South Dakota. They have worked their way into the top 3 all-time in the Summit League in career kills. They are 1 and 2 in the league right now so far this season, and separated by just 1 kill. Crittenbrink has 298. Spencer right behind her with 297. And our school reporters caught up with both of them this week to talk about their individual and team accomplishments.
It's really exciting. It's really nice to know that I made history in the Summit League, but definitely can't be satisfied and have to keep reaching for more. Obviously, I have Emily Spencer in front of me and a few other great people in front of me, so just got to keep pushing every day and just giving it my all every day in practice and not be satisfied.
It's really exciting and just makes me think that throughout the years I've had really good passers and setters who have put me in a position to get to where I am today. It doesn't end of kills, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here playing volleyball and doing what I've been doing since 8th grade and just getting to hang out with my team.
I think that we're doing great things to separate us from the other teams in the conference that other people might not have expected from us, and especially taking off some huge teams that were ranked in front of us to start off conference. So it's nice to put ourselves on the map, but we can't be satisfied again. Just got to keep pushing and giving everyone our best match every day.
Well, they ended up facing each other on Sunday. South Dakota beat Fort Wayne in 3 sets. Crittenbrink had 14 kills for the Coyotes. Spencer had 15 for the Mastodons. But South Dakota is off now to a 5-0 start in Summit League play. Fort Wayne, meanwhile, was at Western Illinois on Friday night, and Peyton Crosser leads the way for Western Illinois. She and Ann Miller with 10 kills apiece for the Leathernecks. Emily Spencer did have 15 kills for Fort Wayne, but this swing is dug up by Miller. Western will get the point here on a block by Crosser and Melanie Miller, and they go extra points in the first 2 sets. Western Illinois wins the match in 3.
I just think we needed a win. And it was nothing in particular about this match. Every single match in conference we're super excited about, and we want to beat everybody. There's no big, we got to beat so-and-so because they're our biggest rivalry. Everyone's our biggest rivalry.
In Denver on Sunday, the Pioneers taking on Omaha. Nola Basie had a great weekend for Denver, just a sophomore. She had 15 kills in this match. Denver hits 484 in the first set. They hit a very nice 361 for the match, and the Pioneers beat Omaha in 3 sets. Denver is now 4-0 so far in Summit League play. Well, the DU women are good on the court, they're good in the classroom, and they are good at getting out and helping kids in Colorado. The Denver volleyball team gives some of their spare time helping little ones learn how to read.
Besides performing on the court and in the classroom, Pioneer student athletes are leaders in the community, and that's why the DU women's volleyball team is putting an emphasis on community service.
Something we pride ourselves on. It's something that our kids really enjoy. When we talk about doing these programs, they get a smile on their face. They're excited about it. It's great for us to get out into the community and help.
The Pioneer volleyball program has teamed up with Reading Partners.
Reading Partners is a national nonprofit that deals with the empowerment of kids who are reading half a year to 2.5 years behind grade level.
So Reading Partners teaches volunteers how to be effective literary tutors and then pairs the volunteers up one-on-one with students. It's a great fit because college athletes are already role models in the community.
We're really fortunate to have a partnership with the DU volleyball team. We're really excited to have them in. They work with the students, providing them a role model really of somebody who's gone to college and who is showing them what's possible for them.
When they're younger, they don't realize they're role models, and then they get into a situation and they look at young kids, looking up to them. They kind of get a sense of what that means to younger people.
We want to make community service a priority for our team, so being able to do the reading partners is pretty special to us because these kids are going to look up to us for many years.
As much as the players are helping the kids, there's a tremendous reward for the student athletes as well.
The student athletes and the others that volunteer with us really, they end up feeling like they've been given a gift that's far greater than what they've given to the student. It feels good to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Getting to step into their environment and help them read and learn new things is very beneficial for us.
Our players get a lot out of it. It's good for everybody.
Even after just one tutoring session, the players know they are making a difference.
Girls really enjoyed walking out of there and seeing the little kids smiling because they really enjoyed us coming there and helping them.
You're doing something that really impacts your community and can change the trajectory of a child's life.
Well, we've got another great story from Denver coming up later, but soccer is up next, including some poetic praise for Charlie Bales at Western Illinois.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort and Dakota Land Honda. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Health and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Welcome back to Inside the Summit League. Let's look at some soccer highlights, shall we? And a bit of an odd match in Macomb over the weekend with Western Illinois hosting IPFW. And this is early on in the match, just over 9 minutes in. Routine free kick from midfield. Looks like it gets cleared out of there by Fort Wayne, but upon closer inspection, it's a handball. It's in the box, and that means a penalty kick for Western Illinois. That means Charlie Bales, and that means a goal, his 4th of the season for the Leathernecks. And the Western Illinois sports information guys wrote, "The leg of senior captain Charlie Bales spelled disaster for yet another foe this week." Yes, that's beautiful. That was the only goal of the game, by the way, and the Leathernecks win it 1-0 to get the Summit League season started in men's soccer. Well, women's soccer getting going as well. South Dakota was the highest scoring team by a lot in the preseason matches, but Fort Wayne played them tight on Sunday afternoon in Vermilion. Sam Pavlica makes 9 saves for Fort Wayne, but the Coyotes outshot the Dons 14-2 in this match. USD finally gets a goal in the 86th minute. Corey Strang goes up top shelf. That's the lone goal of this match. 1-0 Coyotes. And that match ended in regulation, but there were 5 of the 8 matches on opening weekend that go to overtime, including Denver and Oral Roberts. And that is a beautiful save on the dive by Denver keeper Tina Vargas. Denver had shots all over the place. 24 shots in this match. They had 7 shots on goal. Francesca Garzaloni just a bit high on that one, and there was no score in the first half, no score in the second half. Go to the 95th minute in overtime. Denver on a set piece off the corner. They get it to Garzaloni, and she finds Sam Harder, and Sam Harder puts an end to this one. 1-0 Denver in overtime, and you can find all the scores again down there at the bottom of the screen. Omaha, by the way, beat Denver this weekend. That's the first loss by Denver to a Summit League team since they came into the league last year. In cross country, meanwhile, Brendan Sage of South Dakota State is the league's athlete of the week. He won the individual title at the South Dakota State University Classic. He not only won it, but he did it in dramatic fashion. This is Sage with a surge right at the end of the race, coming to the finish line. Sage goes by Brant Haas of South Dakota, and Sage wins by less than 2 seconds. He finishes the 8,000 meters in a time of 25 minutes, 23 seconds. That's almost 30 seconds better than his previous best. And this was the first collegiate win for Brendan Sage. North Dakota State won the team title here with South Dakota State and USD second and third. We'll get 2 scoops of hoops and more when we come back. A look at the preseason basketball polls and a look at the new digs for the Jags at IUPUI.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort and Dakota Land Honda. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Health and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Welcome back. I'm not sure why we go all gaga all the time over preseason polls, but they are fun to talk about. And this is fresh from the league office this week, the basketball preseason polls. These are voted on by coaches and various media members and sports information directors. And almost everybody thinks the Jackrabbit women are going to win the regular season title again. They have won the last 3 in a row. The Coyotes, who beat the Jacks in the Summit League tournament last year, they are picked to finish second. IUPUI got to the tournament semis last year before losing to Denver in overtime, but the Jags come in third. Western Illinois got 1 first-place vote, and Ashley Luke of Western Illinois is picked as the preseason player of the year. She averaged 21 points and 10.5 rebounds a game last year as a sophomore. Now, the men's poll is very interesting. No clear-cut favorite like there was last year with North Dakota State. Fort Wayne gets the top nod. John Kaufman takes over this year as head coach. The Dons have Isaiah McCray and Steve Forbes and Mo Evans and all those guys back on that team that lost to North Dakota State in the Summit League Tournament Championship game last year. Denver checks in second. Brett Olson and Cam Griffin and Jalen Love all coming back. Olson is the preseason player of the year pick, by the way. Oral Roberts is a little unknown after their 2-year absence from the league, but we will hear a lot about Obi Amegano when the season rolls around. South Dakota State, another question mark with a lot of new players on that roster. And we will see about the defending champs from North Dakota State, Lawrence Alexander and Corey Brown back there, and a relatively young lineup in Fargo as well. Well, everybody has started practice already. The first games are less than 6 weeks away. There are 5 new men's head coaches in the Summit League this year, including Billy Wright at Western Illinois.
Well, the Summit League is always a tough league, in my opinion. Now you add Oral Roberts coming back into the league this year. So it's a highly competitive league. It's one that I'm familiar with, and I think it's a league that's underrated for the most part. A lot of great players, a lot of great teams, a lot of great coaches.
Well, Western Illinois might be a little thin on returning players this year, but they do have Garrett Covington coming back. He was the Summit League newcomer of the year last season. The Leathernecks, as you saw, picked to finish 7th in the 9-team league, but Wright would love nothing more than to exceed expectations.
One thing they'll expect to exceed is a team that's willing to fight, willing to play the right way, and that's something that I harp on every single day: is play the right way. Understand who we are. Man-to-man defense, pressure, offense. We want to push the tempo, take care of the ball, share the ball. Sometimes we pass up a good shot for a better shot, that sort of thing. Just the whole embellished team concept, and I think our fans appreciate that.
Well, another thing fans appreciate is nice new arenas to see their teams play in. At IUPUI, it's not new on the outside, but the Fairgrounds Coliseum is now new on the inside. It will be home ice for the Indy Fuel hockey team, and it will also be the home floor for the IUPUI men's basketball team.
Fans of the Fairgrounds Coliseum that have a long history with the building, as they arrive on the campus of the Indiana State Fairgrounds, they see a building that looks similar to what they used to see. The renovation has been done completely to the inside of the facility, and so when they walk in that building, it's very rewarding to see a couple or an individual that has a long history with the facility. Their eyes really light up as they identify all the neat, really fan elements that are going to make it such a better venue for our customers to come watch and cheer on IUPUI basketball.
While we're at it, let's check in with Scott Sutton in Tulsa as Oral Roberts gets their first practice out of the way as the Golden Eagles make their return to the Summit League this season.
Practice 1 under the belts, and we're here with head coach Scott Sutton. Coach, what was the overall thought after day 1?
Well, opening day of practice, they're always good. The guys are excited, enthusiastic. They're going to play extremely hard. So, I enjoyed it. I think our guys enjoyed it, and we got some things accomplished. And the key now is that these guys need to carry over here the next few weeks. Sometimes preseason practices can drag on, especially when you're not playing games. So hopefully with the maturity of a few guys, the leadership of a few guys, we can continue to get a lot of things done.
What was the overall message on the opening practice?
Well, I told them, if these guys come out every day and have a great attitude, if they'll show great effort and they'll be great teammates, then we're going to get something accomplished. But they need to do that every single day. They need to come with the mindset, hey, I'm going to play hard, I'm going to be enthusiastic, I'm going to be a great teammate. And those guys will continue to do that. We can make a lot of strides from now until, the first game.
We talked a couple of months ago about Corey and Obi. Obviously, they're your guys coming back. You said they both had a tremendous offseason. Has that shown up here early in the practice?
Yeah, I mean, the first day we do a ton of drills, so we don't do a whole lot of live action. So it's hard to exactly see where their improvements are. But yeah, I mean, these guys are a year older. Corey especially understands more so what we want out of him, what we need out of him. Obi had a great offseason just rehabbing. He got back quickly, worked his tail off. I know he's excited to get back on the floor. And so, yeah, those two guys, the best thing about them is they're competitors. They want to win. They want to do anything and everything possible to allow us to win.
When we come back, great story in the campus spotlight. A young man fighting a life-threatening disease finds new friends and new teammates on the Denver men's soccer team.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort and Dakota Land Honda. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Health and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Well, in our campus spotlight this week, we go to Denver, where the athletic programs there are involved in a program called Team Impact. Its mission is to improve the quality of life for children who are facing life-threatening illnesses, like neuroblastoma, which you'll hear about in this story. It's a cancer that commonly affects children under the age of 5. The Impact program, though, helps out by matching up a kid with a college team. In this case, the kid is a young man named Ben, and the team is Denver men's soccer.
One of the key members of the University of Denver men's soccer team won't score a goal this season. He won't have an assist or make a defensive stop. He will, however, bring determination and a fighting spirit to the Pioneers in a way most people cannot fathom. He is Ben Brewer, and he is a Pioneer.
Every time he's around, there's a special feeling. And I'll tell you, the guys ask constantly how he's doing. They reach out to Ben. He's part of the family, I guess is the right way of saying it.
Ben is a fighter. He was diagnosed with neuroblastoma when he was just 2.5 and has been in tough, painful treatments ever since. But during training camp for the Pioneers in Vail, Colorado, Ben Brewer, who came in touch with the Pioneers coaching staff through Team Impact, signed with the University of Denver.
We've been waiting a long time, Ben, to do this. So officially what we want you to do, Ben, I speak for all of these guys that are out here that are going to be working hard together with you, to sign your national letter of intent right there, young man, right, and join the family officially. It just happens to be that it's 2014, Ben, and that number was available, so we would like you to honor us and wear a 2014 jersey this season. What do you think? All right, okay.
Ben's mom, Sarah, was happy to have her son become part of the Pioneers family and had to fight back the tears when she addressed the team.
Ben has been in treatment for a really horrible cancer since he was 2 years old, and he's been fighting for his life off and on for the past 10 years. So for him to be a part of a team when he's never been able to participate in team sports or anything like that before because he's been in horrible treatments, very painful treatments, long treatments. It's amazing. And I'm going to cry, I'm sorry, but thank you. Thank you so much.
From a shy, quiet observer to a growing presence on the bench, Ben has assimilated in splendid fashion with his teammates.
He's starting to talk on the bench. Every once in a while I'll be quiet and I hear Ben down there and I'll say, "You're right, Ben. You're right, Ben." Just the one thing that we've learned a lot about Ben is we've liked him. We would have liked him to walk out with the starters, and he doesn't like attention. You know what I mean? I think he's like what we look for in our student athletes. It's about the team and just being around the team and being a part of the team, and I think that makes him very special.
A bad practice or a bad game seems so minuscule in like the big scheme of things. Just seeing what Ben's going through and what he has to deal with on a day-to-day basis makes our challenges and our struggles so little compared to what he goes through.
While head coach Bobby Muse knew that Ben would be a positive influence on his team, he didn't realize he was also adding an assistant coach.
And like the other days on the bench at 0-0 in a tough game against New Hampshire, it's like, we just need one goal. And I'm like, yes, we do, Ben. You know what I mean? And so Ben's become a little bit of another coach on the bench down there. He doesn't like when the team turns over the ball. He gets upset. I hear him chirping to himself down at the end of the bench. But I think he's, you know, I've said it from the beginning. We have a special group of young men, and I think Ben's a special young man, and I think it's the right fit. And you know about the game. I think more importantly, if he falls in love with soccer, that's great. But to be an inspiration to our guys, and our guys to be an inspiration to him, it makes it that much special.
When we come back, a quick check on the players of the week in the Summit League.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort and Dakota Land Honda. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Health and your Heartland Chevy dealers.
Welcome back. Here are your Summit League players of the week, starting in women's soccer. Offensive co-players of the week: Chelsea Roloff from Omaha, Diana Potterveld from South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits are 2-0, by the way. Defensive player of the week is Mackenzie Victor, the keeper from South Dakota. She did not allow a goal in 2 matches over the weekend. Men's soccer: Charlie Bales is the offensive player of the week. Eves Dietrich from Western Illinois shares the defensive player of the week honors with Omaha's Joseph Gaitis, the freshman keeper for the Mavericks. In volleyball, Nola Basie from Denver, the offensive player of the week. Riley Hogg of South Dakota, the defensive player of the week. And those two teams will play each other coming up this Sunday, both of them still undefeated. Thanks to our member schools. We'll see you next week on Inside the Summit League.